Okay, traders, I'm going to get into gold. We'll do a full top-down analysis, but before I do, this is how easy it is to trade this. Notice how this is on the pullback. The sell signal is on the pullback. These will tell you the right time to get in, and they're generally pretty good. Look, it pulls back, buy. It pulls back into here, buy. Pull back, look, there's a signal, buy on the pullback. You want these. So now I'm waiting for another signal. And the beauty of this thing tells you, wait. Okay, so there's a conflict of green and red going on here at the moment. Okay, you can gain access to this. It's a free trial. Try it for a week and see how it can make money for you, basically. Most important thing with this is to watch my mentorship videos every day, because we've just added a new indicator, and you'll stay up to date with everything. So what I'm going to do now is click over here and we'll continue this with TradingView, and I've got to take that off because I can't advertise this on TradingView. So we'll go to a bar chart and then we'll do a top-down analysis. Bar chart. We'll go to a candle chart. All right, let's go. So Cord and TradingView. Okay, traders, we are looking at gold. Righto. I'm going to go out weekly time frame, top down. Oh yeah, and this is my monster trade strategy. Very, very quickly, if you haven't been following this, you can click on my videos and go back and look through gold, and you'll see gold, how to build a monster trade, blah, blah, blah. There's a few videos in there on that. So we've been doing this for a while now, and those of you following me who started back in here will have these positions still running. And I have a $10,000 target, guys. So, you know, when you think about it, that's, I mean, if you started back here, this is 86R, okay? 86R, 86, 86, 86. Risk reward 86, is that right? It's about that. Anyway, the monster trade. So we'll get into this. I'll show you what we're looking at. So now this is bullish. My bias is definitely bullish. So we've had this massive pullback, and now we've got this bullish break of market structure. So we'll go to a 4-hour chart and I'll explain how I'm looking to get involved with this. So yeah, we had some shorts. So the idea is, like, when it starts trending, like back here, for example, you buy, and when it reaches 1R gain, you take 50% off the table, and then you open your next position. And every time you open a new position, you take 50% off the last one, and you leave it in there. Just let it go, right? But at some stage, it's going to come back and bite you. Okay, so you lose these. That's fine. They're gone. But you've actually banked money the whole way. So we take those out now. But what's still remaining is, after this pullback, these guys are still in. So we're looking at, 80R on these, and these guys are still in, right? So it's the monster trade strategy. You just keep building on these bullish moves. Well, we took these bearish trades, and then now it's pullback, so that's fine. We just let them go. In fact, we can do this, right? And so what I'm going to do now is we're going to go back through, and I'll give you my take on another entry. Stop loss red, is it the one? Okay, so these shorts, all of these here now, are gone. And look, if you wanted to, you could actually close all of those. Let's just do that, because my bias is actually bullish. I'm not really interested in shorting it, unless, you get something like that. Anyway, this is bullish price action here now. We start building this position again. I might have missed a couple of videos, right? But we've got my members, guys who follow me, have regular signals, and they're in this gold trade. They're following it. So we trade up, and then we get a pullback, and that pullback will take out these. That's fine, because we've already closed 50% on every single one of them. Okay, so that remains if that stop loss is still hasn't been taken out, right? So now we're just looking to add to our position. All right, so you open one, you close 50%, you open the next one, right? That's how we do it. Okay, So here's the thing. How do we get involved with this? There's a couple of things that we need to look for. And I mean, I'm mainly just looking at this trend. Just mark that up as a white channel. Okay, it's trending up on the 4-hour time frame, and that's the main time frame that I'm watching. It trends up. Okay, we got a pullback, but look, higher high, higher low. Okay, so if we go down to the 30-minute, we can get really precise about how we enter this trade. In fact, that would have been an entry point here. I kind of missed the boat this morning, but this Asian session gave us that. Anyway, so what I'm looking for is anchored VWAP on the previous low, and see how this is hugging this first deviation. This is perfect. You want that pullback into this level here. And you can see that now this is actually starting to move, right? We've shifted out of an accumulation range, right? This value area, okay? And we've broken out of this value area here. So now we're kind of setting up another value area. And the way to get involved with this is, I mean, look, there's an easy way. One, you just go with low, high, Fibonacci pullback. Not that one, this one. Low, high. See the pullback into 50 to 61.8. Low point, high point. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't pull right into it. I'm watching the fib, but I'm also, because when there's momentum behind it, sometimes it'll just be a shallow pullback. So you want to watch, see this touch on the VWAP right there. That is your entry point, okay? The touch on VWAP. 30-minute chart, or you could even go for a 15-minute if you like, right? So that's your entry point. Now, the other thing that you could include here would be an anchored volume profile. Throw it back in here, right? That's one thing. And this is called a fixed range volume profile. So what we can do with this is just look back, pick the low and the high, run it through there, right? So you got this behind you and then this in front of you. I should take that out for now, so I don't want to distract you. With this VWAP, see this point of control back through here, these red dots? That's key, right? So this is well, you could call it an institutional level. This is where a lot of business is being done through this level here. So smart money will be looking for these levels. That's where they look. This is an accumulation back here, right? So that's where they build their positions. So keeping an eye on the volume profile, we'll bring the other one in, will help you understand where smart money is most likely going to be getting involved. Now, we've got this gap through here that we're trading through. Okay, we've broken above this volume profile, bullish. That would be an entry there. All right, if you missed that, it doesn't matter. What we do now is we wait for the next one. So we're simply just going to let that play out because we need to see a higher high. And most likely it's going to hit that and come back down. And then that pullback will be an entry, right? So rather than entering here after it started to move, because we don't know if that's going to head south. You just don't know. Let me just change that. You've got to have a higher high point of interest. Okay, yeah. All right, see now this lower high, we don't know if it's going to do that now. All right, so what we have to have, like back here, we need a higher high and then the pullback. We need a higher high and then a pullback retest. And that will be an entry point there. All right, so that's the note. Buy. You've got to plan these trades, right? And work around like these key levels. That's value right there, and it goes right through this point of control. So that is a key support zone. Let's call it that. Support. Really important level. All right, so you want to make sure that you don't break below this level through here. Anyway, we're looking for the next high and a pullback, and then that would be the break of structure we're looking to enter. Right, so we get long there. Now, we don't know if this is going to then turn around, right? and who knows where it's going to go. But if you follow this, it's most likely going to keep you out of trouble, as you can see here. The other thing you want to keep an eye on, I guess, would be this volume, the VWAP. See the shaded zone with the VWAP? Let me show you this. Let's just, okay, VWAP background. Let's just increase the intensity of that. All right, you don't want price to break under this. Okay, so as long as it comes back into VWAP, into this first deviation at this point in time, right? If it pulls back into that, let me show you this. Grab that. Where are we? Okay. You want to see a bullish candle kick off. After it pulls back, you want to see a bullish candle, and then you look for that, right? Now, the other thing that you can do with this is grab a parallel channel, pull it through. Now, see how you get this break of market structure. Just take that out. See this bullish candle. Let me just point. See this bullish candle, and then it comes back. This here would be an entry point there, right? If you want to get precise with it. So what we're waiting for now is basically this, a higher high, and it comes back down into this level, all right? And then we start to break structure. It's really not that difficult. This is quite simple, right? There's the pullback. There's a structural break. Okay, it does that. That's all we're looking for. Okay, it comes back down. You can just mark it up with this. And then when it breaks out, you see a bullish green candle above this level VWAP here, deviation. Okay. Now, at some stage, it's gonna want to pull back into VWAP down into here. And I'm quite often looking for like a 3-drive structure. Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. Okay, who knows, right? Sometimes it's it'll be 4 drives. But at some stage that will most likely come back into VWAP. This is just market structure and smart money. All right. Smart money will at some stage pull it back into liquidity. Okay, they'll run the liquidity that's under the previous low. So I mean you can keep these longs going along here, but just understand the risk involved, right? Because at some stage this could be a play. That could be a play. Right? So you just need to brace yourself, especially after you see 3 or 4 drives in the trend along this VWAP line. There'll be maybe a pullback back into this blue line here. Okay, we're talking this first deviation and a move back into it. Anyway, guys, look, I don't want to complicate this, but if you opened a trade here and that did pull back, you could get taken out. That's the thing. But you've just got to follow this structure, this strategy, and you can see if you go back. I mean, look, all through here, and look, back in here. So you just take these trades. Let's just have a look. See, here they are. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's just the same thing, rinse and repeat. See the break of structure here? It pulls back and you get the break of structural shift. Stop under the low. Just do that. Stop under the low. Look, see, there's a pullback here. Stop under the low. It pulls back. Stop under the low. That's all you got to do. Yeah, and you might get caught out. See how after a while, okay, it turns around and bites you on the bum. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you take out your close your 50% at 1R. Okay, so there's the lower high that I was talking about. That's the failure of this higher high setup. So if we come back over here, there it is here, see? So that's why I'm looking for that higher high. So we go from low to high, low, higher high, come back in on the pullback, starts to break structure, buy. There, you might have got caught there, all right? Okay, so at some stage, that will take you out. Oops. You can see how if you follow this to the T, you're going to bank all this. You're going to have a buffer with all of this and closing 50% at 1R as you go and leave these in. Just follow it. And look, if you start to trend back, then you can close all of them, right? So understand that first entry it could be, you could get taken out. But you've got to start somewhere. So if that pulls back and it's deep, start again. And then you start to build this, you build these positions and you've got a buffer. Now, guys who have been following me for however long, they have, and when you have trades back in here that are still in your open on your order book, you've got a massive buffer behind you. Taking that next trade is just it's a no-brainer, and there's no risk, absolutely zero risk. You lose one, it's part of doing business, right? It just doesn't matter. So that's my monster trade, gold. Look for that next pullback, and entry is easy on the breakout. Stop under the previous swing low. That's all you got to do. Really simple. I understand you're trading into this node here, but if you and look, see back in here, okay, big resistance. Once we break above here, we're off. We're off to the races, mate. Okay, so that's what I'm aiming for. All right, I think that's about it, pretty much. What can I say? Leave a comment. Just tell me what you think. But these tools are fantastic. They're on TradingView. Use them and benefit. All right. With that, have a great day. Safe trading, and I'll see you in the next one.